carrément abusé, il y avait des toits, enfin, c'était un spectacle incroyable. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui étaient présents à Paris-Bercy? Alors, on n'est pas très nombreux maintenant dans les gens qui étaient à Bercy. Baissez la main les gens qui n'ont pas pleuré. Ben voilà, monsieur, vous avez fait comme moi. Vous avez pleuré. C'est normal. Les autres, c'est pas très très bien. Les autres, on va se voir après.
Welcome to the European Championships. We are here in Chamonix, the site of the very first Winter Olympics in 1924. This small commune is home to just 9,800 people, but it boasts one of France's oldest skiing resorts and also the largest mountain in all of Western Europe, Mount Blanc. Standing at 15,781 feet, it attracts over 20,000 mountaineering tourists each year. We're here for the 10th Lead and Speed European Championships, traditionally held every 2 years since the competition began in 1992. Since then, we've seen 28 different champions, and we're here now to find ourselves 4 more from the 20 different nations gathered to compete. Welcome back to Chamonix. We are here now and ready for our Paraclimbing Finals at the European Championship 2013. This incredible event we are about to witness. I saw for the very first time at the World Championships last year in Paris, Bercy in 2012. It's the first time it was included hand in hand with the boulder, lead and speed categories we're used to seeing at the World Championships. That was last year, as opposed to it being on a different day. It was included in the same weekend at Bercy. And here again, we see the paraclimbers included with the athletes from lead, bouldering and speed. We're about to kick things off. The first category we're going to be looking at here, just to give you a bit of a heads up about how this works. The athletes are split into different categories. The ones that we have here at the European Championships are blind females or visual impairment, B2. We're going to be starting with them, and that'll be on their own. For some of the other categories, we will be seeing them at the same time. One climbing on the left route, one climbing on the right route. You can see in front of us here, left in the yellow, the right in the orange. But for the blind categories, it will be singularly climbing on their own. And that is due to the fact that the blind climbers are reliant on their coaches down on the ground to beta for them. Obviously they can't see the wall, so they need somebody down on the ground shouting up at them. And we have used technology to help us with that before, with a microphone down at the bottom with the coach, and the climber wearing a headset as they climb, allowing the coach to speak to them directly on the wall as they climb and talk them through exactly what they need to be doing, tell them the beta from the ground. Of course, they'll have as much information about that route beforehand as possible. They've just had their observation time, so their coaches are just talking them through exactly what they can expect here. So for that category, it will just be the right route that starts us off with the blind females, and that'll be the first category to come out here. We have 6 categories altogether. The next 2 categories are MPD females and MPD2 males, and that is neurological. That's a neurological section. It's arthritis and neurological disability. They are arthritis and neurological disability females, and then males as well. Some athletes to look out for in that one. We're expected to see Fran Brown, who was the paraclimbing world champion at Bercy last year, British athlete. Looking at some of the MPD athletes in other groups as well. Matthew Besnard to come out for that one as well. And Philippe Rivière of France, another well-known paraclimber. So they'll be coming out together at the same time, climbing on both routes, one on the left and one on the right. We'll have MPD females on the left, MPD2 males on the right. Then MPD1 males, it's another category. Arthritis and neurological will come out on the left route, they'll climb on their own. Then amputee leg males, these are guys with obviously one leg. They'll come out and climb for us on the left-hand route, and then we'll finish off with the blind males as well. You will watch the crowd fall completely silent when the blind athletes come out. And I will do my utmost to try and talk you through exactly what's happening here. Any questions, any queries any of you might have, do send it in to us on the Twitter. You can use the hashtag IFSCWC or IFSCEC or just hashtag Chamonix. Failing all of that, you can send me a direct tweet on @_DanielFinn. And I will do my best to answer every question you send in and give you a shout out to any of you that are joining us here for the Paraclimbing Finals as well. I do hope I will be joined, I'm told that I am at some point about to be joined by Andy Coulthard, representative of the British Paraclimbing organisation team. He's now president of the IFSC Paraclimbing Commission. Appointed to that position earlier this year, and hopefully he'll be coming to join us. The reason he's not at the present moment coming to join us is that he actually coaches one of the blind females that are about to come out, so he's going to be needing to beat her for her on the ground in a few moments' time. Rian Raktu, he'll be out beatering for her on the floor in a few moments.
Et là, on commencera, mesdames et messieurs, par la catégorie déficition visuelle B2. Donc, déjà, dès le début, ils auront un guide en bas, je crois. Il va falloir être très sage. Nico, le DJ, là, il n'y aura plus de musique à Nico aussi. On ne mettra pas de musique après pour les déficients visuels, voilà. Et puis, dès que c'est fini, dès qu'on fait les petites rotations, on remet un peu plus. Vous voyez, dans les lignes. Les assurances qui n'ont pas de se faire voyager, ça c'est bon aussi à Chamonix, juste avant de être en juillet, c'est pas une soirée.
Just to give you some information as well then about the beatering for the blind climbers. Just been told by Graham Anderson. Alderson, sorry, I don't know where that came from there, Graham. Yeah, you can give me that smack as well. Graham Alderson. I said that name so many times before and I get it wrong now. Graham Alderson's just been telling me about the blind climbers. If they do stand on a bolt, and we saw that last year here in Chamonix with the shoe bolt incident, Jakob Schubert using one of the bolts mistakenly during a lead climb there. He was stopped during that one for standing on a bolt. Now these climbers, the visual impairment category, there's Andy Coulthard actually, who should be joining us a little bit later on, and that's Rian Raktu there with him in the female blind category. You can see the headsets they're wearing. That's so that he can beat her and talk to her when she's on the wall. If she is on the wall and she uses a bolt it is the coach's responsibility, Andy, who was there, just to tell them that they are standing on a bolt. They need to take their foot off that immediately. If they use it for purchase and to move forward, then they are stopped on that route at that time as well. So here we are then with Rian Raktu starting off her first climb here. Now some of these athletes will have some sort of sight. Not all of them are completely blind. This route that she's climbing on now is a 7A to a 7A plus. Just for those of you that are just joining us, this right-hand route is a 7A to a 7A plus. The left-hand route is a 7B plus to a 7C, set by the route setters here. So it is a route that I don't think I'd be able to complete, and these athletes are climbing it with a disability of some sort. Rian Raktu here with Andy Coulthard, her coach from the ground. She's 16 years old. She was born in 1996. She came 9th at the Women's Visual Impairment category in the IFSC Paraclimbing World Championship in Paris. We were there last year, 2012. She came 9th all in all. Here she is in the finals, Rian Raktu. I'm going to try and stay a little bit quiet during the blind climbers, see if you can pick up some of the coaches and what they're saying on the ambient.
Can you hear me now? Okay, so
she's lost her headset.
Right, that's it.
You can see it dangling around behind her. So you can see that she has some
So
sort
up to the right there as well, on the other
of
side
vision
of the
here,
volume.
because she's now currently pretty much on her own. She's probably reliant on Andy calling up from the ground. So I will try and go quiet again here. You can see hopefully here Andy. The square is completely quiet
go
now.
on. Okay, take your time. That's it. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Okay. Okay, left hand high. Good. So one up by your knee, there's a large one by your left knee. That's it. One above you on the volume on this, on your left hand side. Okay, on the left hand side of the volume. See where your left arm is, above your left arm. Okay, can you bring your right hand over? Okay, remember what we talked about in training with your knee? Okay, so push up, have a look. Well done, okay. See if you can get your hand above, that's it, go on, go on. Oh, very good. Very good, very good.
An incredible effort there, especially after losing the headset halfway through. She's shouting up to Rian Raktu. I know Andy is leaving later on, you'll see they're going up to
Alors ils sont pas habitués, on va pas les bouleverser maintenant, mais de pouvoir donner les informations avec le micro.
Well, an incredible effort there for Rian Raktu. You can see that she lost her headset halfway up that wall there. Kept pushing. Andy Coulthard, you can see there with her coach. I know that Andy's going to be used later on for the medal ceremony. He's going to need to go out for that one due to his official capacity here. But hopefully he'll come and have a chat to us in a few moments' time about Rian and also about paraclimbing in general and how it's getting on around the world and what these categories mean precisely. We have 6 of them here if you are just joining us. Blind females, neurological females, neurological 2 males and neurological 1 males. We also have amputee leg males and blind males still to come. This is another blind female athlete coming out to join us now. It's Silvia Parente. Of Italy, 44-year-old athlete. She was born in 1969. She came second in the visual impairment IFSC Paraclimbing World Championship in Paris last year. Took the silver medal there. Here you can see the difference then between Rianne and how she was climbing a moment ago. And how Silvia is now climbing. Starting off now on this 7A plus route. Coach down on the ground.
Ouais, on peut l'applaudir très très fort, c'est bien parlé. Et alors attention mesdames et messieurs, elle mérite encore plus d'applaudissements parce que cette demoiselle représente l'Italie aux Jeux Olympiques de ski. Applaudissements pour Silvia Parente. Et bien sûr, dans vos applaudissements, on applaudit aussi très très fort évidemment le guide, parce qu'ils sont pas médaillés, mais sans le guide, on ne peut pas faire grand chose. Ça c'est une certitude. Pour ceux qui étaient là au championnat du monde, on avait une doublette japonaise. Ils ont été exceptionnels. Ils ont toutes les strades au sol. Félicitations, bravissimo, Silvia! Allez, encore plus d'applaudissements pour Silvia Parente, s'il vous plaît. Chamonix. C'est magnifique. Et alors, pour en terminer avec cette finale, nous allons accueillir, s'il vous plaît, sous un tonnerre d'applaudissements, la grimpeuse de l'équipe de France. Applaudissements pour Mademoiselle Roxane Lully, France.
Our next athlete out then. Now for us is Roxane Hilly of France, 23-year-old athlete born in 1990. She came 4th last year in the visual impairment category at the IFSC Paraclimbing World Championship at Bercy. So no medal for her at the World Championships. There's only 3 of them in this category, so she's guaranteed a medal. But currently, Sylvie just moved up into gold medal position, moving Rian Raktu down into silver at the moment. You can see the coach here in the bottom left-hand corner for you as well. He's got the radio in his hand. You can see that's how he's communicating with the athlete on the wall. You notice that each of the coaches are doing it differently here as well. Some coaches we saw at the World Championships, in Bercy last year, were literally just shouting from the floor, which is another reason why the silence in the square is called for. You might have heard some of them clapping earlier, and then people being told to shush, shush, so the athlete can hear what the coach is saying up on the wall. And after Roxane has finished up, I will be joined by Andy Coulthard.
Allez, applaudissements pour Roxane Hilly, s'il vous plaît, messieurs, dames. Allez, innovation pour le 3.
And now the crowd comes to life, a round of applause.
Italie, la France, et le Grande-Bretagne.
Roxane Hilly. And the ground again. So it's looking like the gold medal could be going to Silvia Parente here, who took silver at the World Championships paraclimbing in 2012. And it's looking like Rian Raktu will take silver home and Roxane Hilly taking bronze. That's the end of the blind females category for the final here in paraclimbing. We now move on to both routes being climbed at the same time. MPD females on the left, MPD 2 males on the right.
Voilà, ça va pas être le bon moment. Et tout à l'heure, je la ferai parler un petit peu, qu'elle nous explique un petit peu comment ils vivent cette arrivée dans les compétitions. En tout cas, nous, on est les plus heureux du monde.
The crowd there all sitting down. Quite a big crowd here for the Paraclimbing Finals. Could have had a pin drop a few moments ago.
On va accueillir les finales women athlétisme neurological.
We now move on to our next, our first athlete out for the neurological category, the Oriane Moreno of France.
Donc je vous demande d'accueillir s'il vous plaît le premier représentant, la première représentante chez les filles. On va avoir 2 membres de l'équipe de France côte à côte. Là par contre, messieurs dames, vous avez le droit d'encourager et de faire du bruit. Hein. Là pour le moment, je vous le dirai quand le silence sera de rigueur.
And then for the MPD2 male category, it will be Philippe Rivière coming out for France. He'll be on the right.
Allez là on peut faire du bruit, hein. Ça devient, vous pouvez vous lâcher, hurler votre bonheur pendant la compétition.
And there are the names there up for you.
Alors oui, en plus en Philippe Rivière, vous pouvez gagner le concours parce que c'est un cheval. Attention parce qu'il y a beaucoup de travail ce soir, Philippe Rivière. La Hongrie est un pays, une nation très très forte dans cette discipline, l'Italie pareil. Allez, applaudissements pour nos 2 Français, s'il vous plaît, on y va. Allez, on regarde Moreno qui est bien parti dans sa voie. C'est parti pour Philippe Rivière. Philippe qui est depuis plus de 10 ans l'ambassadeur en fait international du handicap en grimpe.
So on the left-hand side of your screen now, Oriane is climbing a 7B plus to a 7C grade of difficulty. On the right, Philippe is climbing a 7A to a 7A plus.
Prenez les meilleurs grimpeurs valides de l'équipe de France et on leur mettait l'équivalent du handicap des grimpeurs à côté. C'était le meilleur moyen de tous se rencontrer, de se connaître. Et voilà, depuis il parcourt la planète à la découverte de tout le handicap partout dans tous les pays du monde. Allez, c'est bien parti en tout cas pour Oriane Moreno, hein, ça va très très vite. Allez, Oriane, allez. On va faire attention à pas jeter les bras pour la corde, là. Allez, les plus encouragement.
Philippe moving into this first real change in the overhang here. I think you can see already how high these athletes are up to already. Really quick here now as well. Oriane Moreno.
7 à plus de ce côté-là. 7B plus 7C à gauche. Allez, Oriane, allez.
Philippe Ribéry. 7th at the Men Arthritis and Neurological PD Paraclimbing World Championship in Paris last year. And Oriane Moreno, 35-year-old athlete. First result that we have for her here at the paraclimbing category. So our next two athletes will shortly be coming out to join us. For the MPD females, that next athlete will be Elodie Aubin, and for the MPD2 males, it will be Andras Sjato of Hungary. Join me in the commentary box now then, and able to tell you all a little bit more about this particular discipline than I will be able to is Andy Coulthard. Andy, thank you very much for joining us. Can you talk to us a little bit about how the categories are decided for paraclimbing?
Okay, there are 4 main categories for paraclimbing. There is one for visual impairment, one for amputees, one for neurological physical disabilities, which is the NPD you hear about. And there is another category with no one in it this year called sitting, which is for people with either no legs or no use of their legs. The way that it's all categorized is done through the medics. The visual impairment, there are 3 subcategories. B1, so blind 1, blind 2 and blind 3. If you are B1, it means that you have light perception, so you can see light and dark, but nothing more. If you are B2, you have less than 5% visual acuity, so vision of less than 5% in total. And if you are B3, you have between 5 and 20% of your visual acuity. Opticians in different countries will test for this, and then will give a classification that is then used with reference to the medics at the IFSC, and that determines which category and ultimately the kind of routes that our route setters put on the wall for these athletes, which is why we have sight guides for them. I'll tell you about the other categories in a minute. I'm just going to hand back to Dan.
So regarding what you were talking about the blind category there, can you tell me just briefly, they were B2 just in the women's visual impairment?
B2 means they've got up to 5% of their vision. So the athletes there will be able to determine colour and maybe the location of the holds, but for some of them they might not be able to tell you what kind of shape the holds are. So when sight guiding is taking place, we'll be telling them that you can reach up to your right and there is a jug hold there. Or you're reaching over to your left and it's a sloper, giving them some advice on the kind of contact they're going to come in with their hands or their feet on the different holds.
Thank you, Andy. We'll go more into that as well in a little while. This is Andras Sjato now, though. powering up this higher section on the wall here. Sujato, born in 1989, very, very close there to a top. He was just climbing on the 7A to the 7A plus standard grading of route. Let us know any questions you might have. Do send them in to us. I've got my resident expert with me now, so Andy should hopefully be able to solve a few of those mysteries that I have with paraclimbing. And as we're waiting for our next athlete to get ready and come out to climb, talk to us about this particular, the MPD that we're looking at here, Andy.
Okay, neurological physical disability for the IFSC is one of the most difficult categories to classify. Because neurological physical disability can be so varied. It can be somebody with rheumatoid arthritis. It could be somebody who has had an accident and damaged their spine and is tetraplegic. So the range of disabilities in this category can be quite vast. So for the IFSC, the biggest amount of work for the medical team is to assess each of the athletes' physical movement before they start the competition, to work out exactly where on the scale of physical disability they fall. If they're disability is rated above 1.4 in movement, they fall into the NPD 2 category. If it's below that and they have slightly more movement, it's NPD 1. So we try and help the category out by grouping together athletes with a similar physical ability, so that somebody who maybe has just arthritis is not trying to compete against somebody who's got no upward movement of their legs or something like that.
Thank you, Andy. Well, this is Elodie Orbeon now climbing for Belgium, the 30-year-old athlete born in 1983 in Jodolonghi. Fortunately, a fall there for her at that point. So we are about to start bringing out the next athletes for the men's then in this MPD 2 male category. That'll be Alessio Cornamosini. Alessio Cornamosini is from Italy, born in 1966. This athlete, and for the women's it'll be Frances Brown for Great Britain, born in 1984. So while we are waiting for that to happen, I just had a brief chat with Fran round the back of the wall about this one. This is an interesting one for her, is it not, Andy? Because she's actually technically in a different category, is that right?
Yeah, Fran's faced a lot of challenges this year. She's had to have some surgery on her wrist, and in order to replace some of the bone cartilage that was missing from her wrist, she's had her small finger removed and actually placed inside the cartilage placed inside her wrist. So she's actually lost one finger on her hand, and the next finger along from the small one, the tendon was broken during the surgery. So she's actually climbing with one hand with just the two fingers and a thumb, and with her other hand she's got the use of it, but her fingers don't straighten out. So and bearing in mind, as those of you who watched Fran at the World Championships in Bercy last September will know, she's got no upward pushing movement with her legs, so she's very much reliant on those hands and that upper body strength for her movement. She can place her feet on holds, but she can't push up with her knees. So when you watch her climb in a few moments, you'll see just how incredible her climbing technique is.
I'll talk about Fran a little bit more when she comes out in a few moments' time as well. This is Alessio Cornamasini coming out now to climb for Italy for us. Born in 1966 in Castel Florentino. 47-year-old athlete, came 6th at the Men's Arthritis and Neurological PD IFSC Paraclimbing World Championship in Paris in 2012. This route he's climbing on is the 7A Plus. Just starting to push into the bulge in the roof on this wall here in Chamonix. Welcome if you are joining us. You're watching the Paraclimbing Finals here in Chamonix. And a slip there, unfortunately. You see the frustration as well there as he's coming down now. Not happy with that at all. Again, guys, remember always as well, if you have any questions or anything you want to get in touch with us about, you can do so by getting onto Twitter and using the hashtag IFSCWC. Our next athlete out then in the MPD female category will be the last one for that category. It's Fran Brown. We were just talking to Andy about. Here she is coming out. She is the world champion. She took the gold medal in Bercy in 2012. A personal favourite of mine. She climbs at, I know I'm not supposed to say things like that, but I used to see Fran quite a lot down at the Arch in London, where she climbs and is actually sponsored by the Arch Climbing Centre. If you guys are able to get down to that gym, if you're joining us from anywhere in London, I'd highly recommend it. Get down to the Biscuit Factory as well. She's got the new facilities opened up down there. The great thing about Fran, though, is that she actually teaches able-bodied people to climb at the Arch, which I think is just amazing. It's phenomenal. She climbs much better than I do. Yeah, so she actually teaches able-bodied people to climb. She climbs much better than I do, and you might see her in a moment reaching down and grabbing her legs to pull them up, and she's just had that little finger removed as well on her left hand. Topped both of her routes yesterday. Andy, talk to us a little bit about Fran.
First of all, before I do, I'd just like to welcome everyone from Great Britain who's following this on the internet. It's fantastic to have you supporting Fran right now. Yeah, Fran is, for many people, an absolute inspiration as a climber. She's just got that determination. She's been through an awful lot, having had an industrial accident that caused damage to the top of her spine, leaving her a tetraplegic just a few years back. She's trains very hard, generally about 36 hours a week, which again is something that is an inspiration for many climbers, and also a target, I think, for many of us to work towards. But her climbing is great to watch. She's very focused and thinks very carefully about her body movement because of the restrictions she has, and uses her hips particularly to position her legs, because she can't move those legs without the use of her hips. So there she is. She does rely on her upper body to do as well as she does. I'll pass you back to Dan.
The thing I wanted to bring to your attention just about that one is that talk to us about how it looks for that moment there, like she's actually moving her legs and placing them in the right position. Now, what would happen as she's moving? She has quite good movement below the waist with the legs, but am I right in saying there's no power in it at all? She can put them there, but she can't push with them. Is that right?
That's totally right. Yeah, she's got no ability to actually push upwards from her feet and her knees. She can move her legs around, but she can't stand on them. She can't walk on them, and she certainly can't use the power that most able-bodied climbers have, which is in their legs. That's what we climb with. We use the power in the biggest muscles we have.
Well, great to see Fran out here. The next category we're about to see then will be MPD1 males out to join us. We'll talk you through that in a few moments' time. Just a few shout outs to people that are joining us. BMC Comps joining us in the Twitter feed. Just to say hello to you guys there. We were with you at the BBC, the British Bouldering Championships last weekend. And Ashley Scott as well, saying he sat there in awe of what these people are able to do. Absolutely, I think the entire square here, as you can see, it's much fuller than it has actually been to this point, the square, with even the lead category qualifications, and also for the speed earlier today. It's definitely filled up now with people interested coming to see what's going on here. Our next category then, this MPD1 males. So Andy, talk to us about the level of disability that this is.
Okay, the level of disability that this is the lower of the range, the 0 to 1.4. So the movement for these guys is slightly stronger. Hence the reason they're actually on the wall that's got a grade of 7B plus stroke 7C, because they've got that the ability to cope with that level. Again, you'll find with each athlete there will always be a difference between one and another, and what they can actually do themselves. So just watch and see and enjoy these climbs.
So we see a variance even within the category of what athletes are actually capable of doing.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that you get two athletes that have got a similar neurological condition, or even if they have the same condition, it doesn't necessarily affect their physiology in exactly the same way. So one might be more disabled by this a condition that another one, can have a slightly better movement from. So that's why the medics have such a task on their hands, making sure that physical movement is examined before the comps begin.
Thank you, Andy. Well, this is Daniel Bar-David competing for Israel here now. In the qualification, the first route with a score of 19 plus and 20 plus in qualification 2. That was in the qualies that was yesterday held in the gym just down the road. He's here now for the final. Unfortunately, just losing him at that point on the wall there. 25-year-old athlete, born in 1988. And next athlete out will be Noel Collin from France. Same category again. Still in MPD1 males. That's Christophe, the local MC, coming up to talk to Daniel for a moment there. That looks pretty intense. Daniel says goodbye to the crowd, and we get ready for Noel Collin. 37-year-old athlete from France, came 5th at the Paraclimbing World Championships in Paris in 2012. There you can see the crowd that's grown here as well. Remember as well, guys, if you do want to get in touch with us, you know where to go. Get onto the Twitter and use hashtag IFSCWC. Any questions you might have for myself, or probably more likely Andy sitting next to me here, just send them in to us on there, and I'm sure Andy will be able to answer a lot more than I am. It's been a long while since I saw the paraclimbing in Paris. I remember this gentleman here though. Here we go on the 7B plus 7C route. Our next athlete out then will be Juan Antonio Bellido Ramos of Spain. Noel just giving a shout out to the home crowd supporting him. So Andy, all of these athletes are assessed prior to this competition by physicians, yes?
Yes, we have obviously we have a medical day at the start of the competition, and then they do their 2 qualifying routes the following day, and then the day of the final. So for paraclimbers there is an extra day for the competition, extra things to have to go through before they can compete.
So this next athlete out now then in the men's MPD 1 category is Juan Antonio Bellido Ramos for Spain. Yesterday at the qualifications, a 16 plus at the qualification group 1 and a 21 plus at qualification group 2. Put him coming through into the finals in 3rd place. He came 8th at the World Championships in Paris. 31-year-old athlete. As Juan starts his climb on this, the 7B plus 7C route we're looking at here.
Ça sera fait, il doit être en Israël devant son écran, regardez cette compète sublimissime. Juan Antonio, c'est le 3e en compétition, il en restera 2 derrière. Et pour le moment, tient la tête de cette compétition, Noël Collin.
Looking at the route itself, it looks like a relatively easy start as you move up towards the increased overhang here. And it's around this point now when you get the increased incline on the wall where it starts to get tricky, especially moving around these volumes to start. And then you're going to start pushing over to the left-hand side here. Now you can see the pocket just above him. You have to do a cross through here. Either that will match and move ahead. Looking strong here though. And this is where it's going to get really tough around these 3 diamond-shaped volumes here, moving around to the left-hand side. And there you can see the point that he is on the wall. If he can get over this little lip here now, he might be able to move into a slightly more vertical section, but unfortunately no. A phenomenal effort though there. Juan Antonio Bellido Ramos of Spain. Again guys, to let you know, any questions you might want to have or send in to us. Of course, we've got Andy sitting down next to us here. Andy, talk to us a little bit about the job that you now have at the IFSC. You've been recently promoted this year, I believe, and what that entails, what you do for this category of climbing.
Yeah, recently I took on responsibilities as the president of the Paraclimbing Commission. The commission is part of the IFSC, and our responsibility is to look at the development of paraclimbing internationally, to help advise event organisers like here, the FFME, on paraclimbing events and competitions that they wish to run, but also to develop the framework for new categories of disability to be able to come in the future, and give advice on a variety of things like route setting. We encourage some of the members of the commission who have disabilities to have input on that kind of thing for us, so that when these routes are put up, which is often done by able-bodied people, those thoughts and useful tips are there and incorporated into what actually happens, so these climbers get the most out of the opportunity and perform to the best of their ability. So yeah, that's what we do.
So a relatively active role then in general. I'll talk to you a little bit more about it in a moment. For now, I'm going to talk about Juan Pipo Gilbanco, that is now out climbing for Spain. 32 years old. It's the first time that we've seen him here. He qualified yesterday in second place, 25 plus the first route in qualification and a 21 plus on the second one. Very quick to approach the point in the wall we saw our last athlete, Juan, getting to.
Le prochain à rentrer, le dernier dans cette catégorie, va frapper pour l'équipe de France. Il a été médaille de bronze au championnat du monde.
A fantastic effort there from Juan Pipo Gilbianco. And now number one qualifying from yesterday, Mathieu Besnard of France comes through. Now yesterday he topped both routes that they threw at him, and France is leading the applause here as he's about to come out and start this one here, this 7B plus to 7C route. Mathieu, hope for France here, 27 years old, born in 1985, came third, took the bronze medal at the World Championships in Paris in paraclimbing 2012. Here he is with the start of his climb. Mathieu looking strong here. And he's moving fast as well, he's not waiting around at all. And the crowd are right behind him. This is him now pushing himself into the gold medal place. There you can see where he is on the wall, and look how fast he's going as well. He's not waiting around at all. He's currently about 5 moves away from the top, and the crowd is still pushing him to go the whole distance here. 1 move away, and there it is. Nothing has been able to stop this man yet at this competition. Mathieu Besnard of France That's his third top of this competition, 2 tops during the qualifications, and here he is in the final, bringing home the gold medal for the French team in paraclimbing, MPD 1 males. Incredible. The crowd right behind him as well. We're about to welcome the first of our amputee leg males as well. So talk to us a little bit about this next category that we're about to see here, Andy.
Okay, this is a category where the climbers who come to us sometimes come to us because this is something they were born with, and sometimes they come to us through personal or industrial accidents, and as a result of some life-changing experience that's left them with an amputated leg, or in this case, but we do have athletes who competed in this competition here in Chamonix who've got arms missing. So, you know, absolutely amazing. And you know, it's very interesting talking to them to find out the stories behind why, you know, what's happened to them and how they've journeyed through this, how they've recovered, especially if they've lost their leg. They've been a climber, an able-bodied climber before, then they've lost their leg, and they've learned to, they've loved the sport so much that it's like they've learned to reclimb with the disability, to change their style, to incorporate either prosthetic, as you can see on screen now, or climbing with just the one leg.
Yes, talk to me about this with the prosthetics. We saw this at the World Championships. This first athlete out for us now is Yves Le Bisnois. I think I'm pronouncing that vaguely right, but of course I'm never sure with the French names, and I'm sure Sheila is now throwing things at the screen if she's watching. But talk to us about what we saw here. We saw them using prosthetics in the World Championships last year. This gentleman, by the way, is also 52 years old, born in 1961, came 7th at the Paraclimbing World Championship in Paris in 2012. Is this an aid, would you say? I mean, some people prefer to not climb with it, and some people we've seen climbing with prosthetics.
It's been something that has been discussed and debated and still is ongoing as to whether the prosthetic actually provides any advantage. Probably one of the experts in the field is actually the Americans, as they have a large number of climbers with prosthetic limbs, and their general feeling is it doesn't provide that much advantage. Just watching the climber here, he is using it, but obviously it's fixed. It's not able to bend as his other leg is, and to be manipulated. So yes, it can provide balance and tension. It can be hooked like as you saw, like a heel hook there, but overall the feeling is that it doesn't make a difference between having a prosthetic and not.
Thank you, Andy. Just a little bit of more information about this man here and the climb that he's just given us. He's been climbing from the age of 14. He's now 51. Started in Fontainebleau and then quickly moved into climbing in the mountains as well. Amputated the leg 17 years after due to bone cancer, and resumed climbing and mountaineering immediately when he had a suitable prosthesis, which you saw him climbing with there. He passed his BE as a climbing instructor and is busy developing climbing in the FF Para since 1995. What an unbelievable man. What an incredible sportsman. Mental strength and drive of some of these athletes is just absolutely incredible. Hopefully you're joining us here now for the Paraclimbing Finals. Andy, what do you make of that?
Absolutely stunning, and as I said just before, some of the, as you've just heard, the stories of these athletes' experiences and their commitment to the sport and determination to get back, as you've just seen from that climb, just shines through. We've got a new lad on the British team called Tom Perry, who's come fifth in this competition. It's his first international competition since he had an industrial accident 18 months ago and lost one of his legs, and he was wondering why a couple of alpine climbers were saying yesterday how they find him to be an inspiration to them. And it is very difficult when these guys just see themselves as ordinary people with who are committed to climbing and love the sport, love the opportunity to compete. They don't see themselves as disabled. They're climbers first, and they're adaptive. They're incredibly adaptive to whatever they've faced, and put that into such hard work to perform so well. So yeah, that's why they are an inspiration.
Thank you, Andy. This is Thomas Meyer now here for Germany. Thomas started climbing in 1976 and became active on the competition scene in around 1980. In the summer of 1983, he had what he calls the bitter setback, which is during the descent from the great Muls. I'm going to try and pronounce the place here. Mulstershorn, which I believe is a mountain. Thomas hit a stone and severed his left leg at the knee joint, which is why you can see him climbing with the prosthesis that he has now on his left leg. Thanks to the iron will and an intense exercise and love to climb regime, he started his second climbing career 3 years later. And he earns his living as the owner of a company, TDS, which makes climbing holds, exercise bars and climbing walls. So very much still involved in the climbing scene. To have had the leg severed from a fall during a climbing accident as well. And to come back to it 3 years later with no mental strain and commit entirely to the sport. Again, I think everyone that's here on climbing, it just blows your mind, some of the commitment that these people have. The next athlete that we have out here will be Urko Carmona Barandiaran of Spain. As we say goodbye to Thomas Meyer. I remember Thomas actually from the World Championships. I seem to remember having a chat to him there. I think probably while live. And then our last climber in this category, the men's amputee, Urko. Out here and not climbing now with the prosthesis. He's obviously opting not to. Urko coming through from the qualification round in first place with a top in qualification route 1 and a 19 plus on qualification route 2 for Spain, throwing a wave to the crowd, the 32-year-old athlete who also is a world champion. He came first in Paris in this category last year. And he talked to me a little bit as we are just about to get ready for Urko to get up on the wall. Talk to me a little bit about the future for paraclimbing and what's happening around Britain and indeed around the world now with this sport and how it's increasing to grow.
Yeah, it's a really, really exciting time for paraclimbing. It's something that more and more countries are interested in taking part in. We've had 31 paraclimbing athletes here taking part in the competition this week, and there were about 60 who took part in the World Championships last September. A lot of countries are running their own national series, and in Great Britain we've got some disability disciplines that are competing that aren't yet able to do so on the international scene. For example, athletes with autism, which is something that the Paraclimbing Commission will be exploring over the coming years as to how to broaden out the range of disabilities that are able to take part in these competitions as the experience grows. So the work that the BMC are doing to promote disabled climbing in the UK is all being catalogued and shared with the IFSC. So those experiences that are coming from the UK and other nations can help the sport to evolve in the best way possible.
Talk to me a little bit as well while Urko is now approaching the upper section of the wall. In fact, I'm going to stay with Urko for a few moments. I want to talk to you a little bit, Andy, about the competitions that are happening around the UK at the moment. You're starting to hold your own competitions, but I'll talk to you in a few seconds about that. I just want to stick with Urko at the moment as he's starting to now push up towards right at the very top of the wall here. Crowd right behind this athlete, a world champion in paraclimbing, the men's amputee discipline. We had quite a turnout as well. If you can cast your mind back, or indeed if you don't want to and you want to actually go and watch it, the World Championships for the paraclimbing categories is just something else. You can find that replay on the IFSC's YouTube channel. Watching 17,000 people fall silent. Unfortunately, Urko not quite managing to get all the way up there though, but is it enough? We'll wait to find out. And the last category that we have in a few moments' time will be blind males. There are 3 athletes in that category, and again you'll notice these this crowd falling silent. So Andy, just while we're waiting for this switch over again, and we're saying goodbye to Urko now, and the crowd are giving him his due applause, rightly so. Talk to me about the competitions that are going on at the moment around the UK.
Okay, we've just finished our paraclimbing series for 2013, and as a result of that, our paraclimbing team trebled in size, with a lot of new talent coming through. So it's great to see. We're going to be running the series again in 2014. And would encourage anyone in the UK who's interested in climbing to and has a disability to contact the BMC to find out the information about when that series is running and where, and we'd love to see you take part. We are also hosting an IFSC paraclimbing event in London on the 21st and 22nd of September this year. This is an international, it's not a European event, it's an international event, and is open to any paraclimbing team from around the world. We would love to see you there, and we look forward to a fantastic competition with many athletes taking part.
So is that not on the series for this year? This series is finished up, and this is going to be an IFSC international event. The series is just for the British climbers?
The British climbing series run by the British Mountaineering Council has finished. There will be another one in the new year, and the information about that will be available soon from the BMC. But this IFSC event, which is being hosted in the Westwick Climbing Centre in London, is an international paraclimbing event, and is open to everybody.
Before I move on to Manuel a minute ago, do you think we're about to see an IFSC World Cup series of paraclimbing emerging on the horizon? Is it there, Andy? Is it nearly within grasp?
Do you know what? I think it is. This year, the competitions that have been run have been classed as an international paraclimbing series. That's paraclimbers here having the event that's going to involve paraclimbing in Arco, London as well, and then also another event in France in mid-October in Laval, which is going to be the world's first para-bouldering competition, international competition. These are all part of the IFSC's paraclimbing series for 2013, and I'm sure it won't be long before we see paraclimbing World Cups taking place.
Manuel Cepero Gutierrez of Spain in the blind men's category. That was why there was so much silence there whilst that man climbed. Now the round of applause comes. Took silver at the World Championships last year at both speed and also lead. He finishes up here. We are 2 climbers away then from the award ceremony of our European champions. Matteo Stefani is coming up next for Italy in this category. It is incredibly humbling, I think, watching this sport when you're watching these people and how they've. I know it's old hat to always say that about anyone with a disability, to say how do you do it, how do you go on, not in that sort of way, but how do you manage to keep the drive that you have and the passion for this sort of thing. But I think it's obviously completely evident with these athletes here that are climbing, just how humbling it is for me watching it. When A, I'm watching people that are better than me get up on the wall and make it look easy, but B, that also they're overcoming something that's utterly life-changing and still completely determined to just keep. It's hard to say. To keep. It's not even fighting. I don't know what it is. To just keep going, to keep pushing, and to come out to all of these events. And Andy, talk to me about this one. Rescue me from this situation. Explain how it makes you feel watching this.
Okay, yeah, you're getting lost for words there, aren't you? Basically, they enjoy it. They enjoy the climb. They are climbers. They love the sport. They have a passion for it, and that's the thing to remember: is they are climbers first. First and foremost, that's their passion, and they. Whatever is in the way of that passion, whether it's a visual impairment or a missing limb, they're determined to overcome it. They're determined to make the effort so that they can continue to enjoy their sport. And for us, that is inspirational. You know, it also, as you said, it's humbling. It makes you feel humble because you know, we use excuses such as, oh, my foot's sore, so I don't really want to climb today. You know, well, these guys are like, well, I haven't got a foot, so I'm just going to get on and have a good day. You know, it kind of puts us in our place.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head, and it's just made me have a little thought about that one as well. It's not just the fact that they're overcoming something; it's the fact that they're actually excelling with that disability. It's not just a matter of there is a problem here that I need to try and beat. It's that they deal with the problem on a daily basis and still excel at what they do. That was what I was trying to say a few moments ago, getting stumbled watching Matteo Stefani on the wall. I'm going to cut now and leave you because Andy, also you have to go. Andy, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you in a few moments at the award ceremony, right?
Yeah, you will do. And again, just thank you to everyone who's been watching. Thank you for your support, and continue to enjoy.
Thank you, Andy. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Andy goes out now to arrange the medal ceremony. That'll be happening in a few moments' time. For now, this is Matteo. I'm going to hand you over for a bit of ambient sound here. And now comes the round of applause for Matteo Stefani, Italian athlete there. Incredible effort. You can see how full the square has got during this one. Again, I must apologise for getting tongue-tied a few moments ago. Andy said exactly what I was trying to say, and better than I did. And there he is in the background next to Graham Alderson. Matteo Stefani, 20 years old, born in 1993. Took the bronze medal at the World Championships in Paris last year. For me, the one that, not that they don't all, but the one that really affects me is the blind climbing, for the fact that you can silence a crowd this large and watch athletes. They have roughly 5% of their vision climbing on routes that are 7A, 7A plus, 7B plus, 7C. And just to go back to that comment from earlier, excelling with a disability, not just overcoming a disability, not just dealing with the disability, but actually excelling under it as well at a sport. It just blows my mind. We have our next athlete out now here, Nicolas Moineau. And if you're affected in the same way, guys, don't hesitate to get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC or IFSCEC. This particular discipline is definitely something that should have more publicity within the world of climbing and beyond. Just to give you some perspective on this particular climber, during the qualification rounds he topped both routes that were set for him, qualified first into the final, and he's here now to try and take home a gold for France. 36 years old, born in 1977. He did take home the gold for France in this category at the World Championship in Paris last year, so this is a world champion. In the blind males category, I'm going to leave you with this climb. unbelievable. Nicolas Muñoz of France. Just think of the endurance required for something like that. It's not just climbing a 7A to a 7A plus route, it's having the endurance of being able to do it blind and being able to do it moving that slow with that much concentration, relying on someone beatering for you on the ground there. Look at the crowd, you can see the crowd response. Guys, please send us in your thoughts on this one. You can do that on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC.
C'est une personne qui en falaise grimpe du 7A en tête. Et donc voilà, c'est un très grand fanésiste aussi. Félicitations Nico, je suis juste en face. Alors pour les gens...
Absolutely incredible. Well guys, that's the end of all of our paraclimbing here. We're about to bring you the ceremony. Clearly here just a word to the crowd from Christophe and Muñoz. Gather to watch him here, you can see his coach there just beside him. So of course we have 6 categories to go through in the ceremony, a gold, silver, bronze in each.
Alors ça, c'est quand on va dire quand tu es dans une dalle, c'est jouable dès que tu commences à attaquer les dévers. T'as encore toutes les informations, j'imagine, de verticalité ou là où t'as pas le droit à rien, alors dès que tu vas balancer ton corps, c'est encore autre chose.
Après, j'ai envie de faire confiance à Sébastien, c'est lui qui est la méthode et de temps en temps j'improvise un peu aussi. Mais voilà, c'est du placement, savoir bien orienter son corps pour se fatiguer le moins possible. Et voilà.
Champion du monde et champion d'Europe, messieurs dames, Nicolas Muñoz et Sébastien Gucci, l'entraîneur de l'équipe de France. Et vous avez vu, il ne dévoile pas tous les secrets. Alors ça va être terminé pour nos...
Incredible. We are now getting ready for that ceremony. Be with you very shortly. Andy Coulthard, who was with us earlier on, thank you very much to him for being with us throughout this. You can see him there in the background now getting ready for the presentation of the medals in just a few moments' time. Remember as well, guys, that we have the speed climbing final to come after this one. A little bit later on this evening. French team obviously very happy here with their performance. We'll bring you that ceremony in just a few moments' time.
Ça peut les aider, et surtout ceux qui sont touchés de handicap par accident, où c'est souvent très dur de revenir, et le sport est vraiment l'un des meilleurs moyens. J'espère que vous avez pleuré aussi, parce que nous on a eu les larmes aux yeux. On y va dans 5 minutes pour les podiums. Et là parmi nous, il y a une dame qu'il y a beaucoup d'émotions et je pense que vous avez vécu des choses pas faciles et j'espère que vous allez passer une belle soirée. Je pense que ça touche, hein. Ça touche et nous voir comme ça nous fait beaucoup de choses.
Alors moi, je fais un plan de l'équipe blanc pour les fonds, quoi, et on l'utilise pas. Toi, tu as du rame ou pas? T'arriverais à aller jusqu'au milieu? Ouais mais non, c'est mieux de le mettre ailleurs parce qu'il fait que de se lever, il bouge partout. Ah exactement.
So it's looking here like we're going to have a slight delay on the start of the speed finals. That is of course due to the medal ceremony that's about to take place here in the square. You can see the crowd that are gathered. Well, we will of course be bringing that to you live a little bit later on. We'll keep you posted as we move through. We should be running straight into it, all being well. And not long at all now before we get things underway with this medal ceremony here for the paraclimbing athletes in 6 different categories for the European Championships here in Chamonix 2013.
une de nos photographes qui est perchée quelque part là-haut sur le mur, qui prend une photo d'ambiance. Est-ce qu'on peut avoir tout le monde avec les bras levés, s'il vous plaît, toute la place du Mont Blanc, everybody put their hand up for a beautiful picture. Allez, tout le monde lève les bras, s'il vous plaît, everybody. Même ceux qui ont les bras croisés ou une bière, put your beer in the sky. And look here for the picture. Oui, même la tente des VIP. Même 74 sprinters, le PGHM, Garmin, tout le monde, l'univers du bonbon, l'UCPA, la buvette. Alors à tout moment dans la soirée avant la vitesse, oui, même les caméramans, enfin c'est beau. À tout moment vous avez envie de manger, vous avez envie de boire. C'est direction là-bas, on envoie les podiums des Paraclimbing prize given. And just after this is the speed climbing final, the European champion speed climbing. Monsieur le maire est arrivé, ça fait plaisir. Il est là, Eric Fournier va le rejoindre, le maire de Chamonix. Monsieur Fournier, on vous attend derrière. Allez, avant la remise des prix, on va faire rentrer nos élus qui vont remettre les trophées. Alors il va y avoir bien sûr Pierre Youx, notre président de la Fédération française montagne et escalade. Il va y avoir Juliette Payette, notre vice-présidente de la Fédération française. Il va y avoir M. Bernard Ollier, l'adjoint au sport et vice-président de la communauté de communes. Il y aura Jean-Claude Pillon-Burnet, président du club des sports. Je vais demander à Fabienne Ravanel, élue à la mairie de Chamonix, de nous rejoindre. Monsieur Christian Villeneuve, le président de la section escalade. Madame Sylvie Stéphanie, élue au maire de Chamonix. Monsieur le maire, monsieur Eric Fournier qui vient de nous rejoindre. Et on va quand même demander à notre président de la Fédération internationale d'escalade, Marco Scolaris, de se joindre à nous. Et je vais te laisser, mon notre vice-président de l'IFSC Commission européenne, de présenter notre président de la Commission européenne.
Ali Goldar, c'est le directeur de la commission Paraclimbing de l'IFSC, nouvellement élu à l'IFSC.
Voilà messieurs, on va attendre évidemment le mot d'ordre de Vincent Cosset. On va commencer mesdames et messieurs dans l'ordre des finales qu'on a reçues tout à l'heure par le podium Women Visual Impairment B2. Et là aussi, tous les applaudissements que vous leur avez donnés pendant l'évolution, vous allez pouvoir vous faire plaisir et vous lâcher là pour célébrer ce podium des championnats d'Europe. Alors ensuite, les grimpeurs de vitesse sont derrière pour le titre aussi, ils tournent comme des lions en cage. Ils attendent patiemment, mais là, il y a l'influx nerveux qui commence à passer. On y va, je vais vous demander d'applaudir sous vos applaudissements nos 3 médaillés de ce soir, s'il vous plaît. Allez, j'entends rien, Chamonix.
My mama used to tell me, girl, you ain't that cool. You see a man you love and start to act a fool. Tell me what the girl is supposed to do.
Mesdames et messieurs, à la 3e marche de ces championnats d'Europe Paraclimbing, representing France, I would like a big applause for Roxane Elie.
I know it sounds stupid, but is it okay? Deal with my everyday.
Second position, representing Great Britain,
I would like a big applause for Ryan Rock 2. And the European champion 2013, she's from Italy. Make some noise for Silvia Parente. Pour remettre la médaille, Juliette Payette, la vice-présidente. Et pour la médaille d'argent, Pierre Youx, président de la Fédération Française Montagne Escalade, et Marco Scolaris, président de l'IFFC, remet la médaille d'or. Pour remettre les trophées, c'est monsieur le maire de Chamonix qui remet le trophée à la médaille d'or. Monsieur Bernard Ollier, non, c'est Guy Thomet qui remet pour la médaille d'argent. Et monsieur Jean-Claude Billot-Bournet qui remet pour la médaille de bronze. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Italian national anthem. Yeah, Forza Italia! Thank you very much. Congratulations, everybody. And thank you very much to the Italian singer. Congratulations. Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant nous allons retrouver the Woman Neurological Physical Disability, the prize given, les déficients neurologiques et physiques. Je vais demander à nos médaillés de nous rejoindre derrière le podium. Mesdames et messieurs, dans cette catégorie, troisième position sur la troisième marche du podium, je voudrais un tonnerre d'applaudissements s'il vous plaît pour la Française, Oriane Moreno. Ladies and gentlemen, second place, she's from Great Britain. A big applause for Frances Brown. Et mesdames et messieurs, European champion, she's from Belgium. Big noise for Elodie Orme. Juliette Payette qui remet la médaille de bronze. Monsieur Luc Chabrol, vice-président de la Fédération Française Montagne Escalade, qui remet la médaille d'argent. Damien You, vice-président de l'IFSC Europe, qui remet la médaille d'or. Madame Fabienne Ravanel qui va remettre, qui est élue à la mairie de Chamonix, qui remet le trophée à la médaille d'or. Christian Villeneuve, le président de la section escalade, qui remet le trophée à la médaille d'argent. Et Sylvie Céphali, élue à la mairie de Chamonix, qui remet le trophée à la médaille de bronze. Grosse pensée pour Chloé Graffio, Muriel Sarkani et toute la Belgique. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous demande d'accueillir l'hymne national belge. Congratulations Belgium! Il y a des Belges là-bas au fond, je crois. Les Belges, j'espère que vous êtes heureux. Champion d'Europe. Thank you very much, ladies, and congratulations. Time for the prize given, neurological, physical, disability 2. Mesdames et messieurs, déficient neurologique et physique, handicap 2. On va accueillir les prétendants aux médailles. On peut les applaudir très fort déjà, s'il vous plaît, messieurs, dames. Mesdames et messieurs, dans cette catégorie, c'est un beau souvenir et je pense qu'il est quand même très heureux d'être là après 10 ans. Sa première prestation ici à Chamonix. Troisième marche du podium, Monsieur Philippe Rivière, France. Second place from Italy. I would like a big applause for Alessio Colnadusini. And with an incredible prestation, the European champion is from Hungary. Big applause for Mr. Andras Ziarto, Hungary. Pour remettre la médaille d'or, messieurs, Andy Coltard, directeur de la commission Paraclimbing IFSC, Pierre You, notre président de la FFME pour la médaille d'argent, Juliette Payette, notre vice-présidente de la FFME pour la médaille de bronze, monsieur le maire de Chamonix remet les cadeaux pour le médaillé d'or, monsieur Guy Thomas, il s'occupe du médaillé d'argent, adjoint au sport, vice-président du club des sports, et Jean-Claude Puyot-Burnet remet les trophées, notre président du club des sports, au médaillé de bronze. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hungary national anthem. Congratulations. Big applause for Hungary, please. Congratulations. Thank you very much, guys. Allez, big applause, s'il vous plaît, tout le monde. Prochain podium, mesdames et messieurs, Neurological Physical Disability 1. Alors là, j'espère que vous allez leur faire aussi une grosse ovation parce que, évidemment, on a des représentants, on a des médailles. In these categories, at the third position, representing Spain, would like a big applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Juan Antonio Bellido Ramos, Spain. Mesdames et messieurs, deuxième marche du podium, vice-champion d'Europe représentant la France. Applaudissements pour Noël Collin. Dans cette catégorie, le champion d'Europe 2013 représente la France. Champion d'Europe, Mathieu Ménard. Notre président de l'IFFC, Marco Scolaris, qui remet la médaille d'or. Le président de la FFME, Pierre You, remet la médaille d'argent. La vice-présidente de la FFME, Juliette Payette, remet la médaille de bronze. Pour remettre le trophée à la médaille d'or, Madame Fabienne Ravanel, élue au maire de Chamonix, pour la médaille, pour le trophée de la médaille d'argent, Christian Villeneuve, président de la section escalade, et Madame Sylvie Stéphanie, élue à la mairie de Chamonix, pour remettre le trophée à la médaille de bronze. Il est heureux. Il est heureux, Mathieu, champion d'Europe de la discipline. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous demande d'accueillir la Marseillaise. Champion d'Europe, ça Mathieu Bénard. Félicitations, messieurs. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Ils sont contents. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the prize given at the podium, men amputee leg. I would like a big applause for the third people behind the podium, please. Allez, plus fort, plus de bruit, s'il vous plaît. Dans cette catégorie, troisième position, représentant la France, tonnerre d'applaudissements pour monsieur Yves Le Bissonnet. Second place, and representing Germany, I would like a big applause for Thomas Meyer. And ladies and gentlemen, the European champion 2013, please, he's from Spain, make some noise for Yurko Carmona Barandiaran. Damien You, notre vice-président qui a remis la médaille d'or. Luc Chabrol, vice-président de la Fédé, qui remet la médaille d'argent. Juliette Payette, la médaille de bronze. Monsieur le maire de Chamonix, Eric Fournier pour le trophée de la médaille d'or. Monsieur Guy Thomaille pour le trophée de la médaille d'argent, adjoint au sport. Et monsieur Jean-Claude Burnel, le président du club de sport, pour le trophée de la médaille de bronze. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Spain National Inter. Applaudissements, messieurs, dames, pour l'Espagnol. Félicitations, mesdames et messieurs, le dernier podium de l'Ice Paraclimbing Podium. Louis Simène, visuel, apparemment, les déficients visuels les plus importants. Je vous demande de les applaudir derrière le podium, s'il vous plaît. Avec le guide, avec l'entraîneur. Et dans cette dernière catégorie, third position representing Spain. Big applause, please, for Manuel Cepero Gutierrez, Spain. Second position and representing Italy. Big applause for Matteo Stefani. Messieurs, il est champion du monde et il remporte le titre de champion d'Europe aujourd'hui, représentant la France. Tonnerre d'applaudissements pour Nicolas Moineau. Allez, Luc Chabrol, notre responsable de la communauté européenne Paraclimbing et notre président de la fédération française montagne escalade, Madame Ramanel, Christian Villeneuve et Madame Céphali. Alors messieurs, avant d'envoyer l'hymne national, on a les athlètes qui ont fait un boulot remarquable. Je voudrais qu'on applaudisse les guides aussi derrière, qui ont donné les informations. All the people on the floor who give the information for the climber. Congratulations everybody. Mesdames et messieurs, il est temps d'accueillir la Marseillaise. des championnats d'Europe Paraclimbing. Félicitations, congratulations, guys. Voilà, messieurs, dames, j'espère que vous avez rêvé, j'espère que vous avez adoré ça. Merci beaucoup, thank you very much. Et maintenant, on va laisser place à la vitesse. Le spectacle continue avec les finales des championnats d'Europe et les huitièmes de finale. Filles, huitièmes de finale, garçons.